This video demonstrates how to create a slideshow application from a collection of images on a Mac, Windows, or Linux computer. We're going to start with a source folder that contains our collection of images. These are just a bunch of JPEG files approximately the same size. And we also have an icon that we can apply to the finished application that we'll be building. If we launch DocProtect, in our main record here, we're going to name the record, select slideshow as the type of project, and then we're going to fill in some information. So we want to give a name to the main window, the name of the generated application, and pick the path to our folder of images. We also want to pick the icon file that we want to apply to the application and the output folder where it will be generated into. If we go to the options panel, we can determine what type of application we want to generate. In this case, we're generated on a Mac, and we're going to create a universal binary so that runs native on all Mac, Intel, or ARM-based computers. And we'll also set the initial width and height of the viewing window and determine whether or not it's resizable, centered, or such. When we click the build button, it will then generate the application. Once it's generated into the output folder, we can either run it or click the arrow to the right to navigate to that folder, and we'll see the application. If we double click the finished application in our output folder, it runs, and we can see that we have a slideshow. At the top left, we see which slide we're on slide 1 of a total of 6. We have navigation buttons to the right and to the left, or the user can click to a specific slide below. We also see the title of each slide. This information is all coming from how we named those original set of images. For example, if we go back to our original source folder, we can see we've actually given each image a name and a number. So the number before the dash determines the order in which the images will be constructed into a slideshow, and the name after the dash is the name applied at the bottom of each image. Use any graphics or presentation software to produce the images used to build your slideshow. If you'd like to apply a license, go to the license panel and select the type of license you want to apply. DocProtect supports 2 basic types of license. By selecting the simple option here, we can apply a manually activated license, in which case, on first launch, an enter password dialog is presented showing a password number, and the user gives that number to the developer. They can put it into this field, click the password button, and it presents a unique password that will activate your application on that specific user computer. If you want a more automated process, get a safe activation account to generate a batch of serial numbers for your product, and you'll put a URL of the automated activation page here and set the checkbox, serial number checkbox. With this approach, once you've built your application, when it's delivered and run for the first time on the customer computer, a dialog is presented to enter a password that they receive from the developer during the purchase process. For more sophisticated licensing, get quick license, and you can define various types of time-limited trial licenses, perpetual product licenses, subscription licenses, and other more advanced features like the ability to securely move a license between computers. So you'll select one of these 3 options, and then if you go to the ticket panel, you could, for example, with your quick license application, define your time-limited trial license, and I'll put a ticket file and then select it here. And likewise, well, for the trial license, that would be in this slot. And then for your perpetual product license, you would select it here. And then you'll get a try-by license experience where on first launch, the user can click a try button and start the time-limited trial process. And each launch thereafter, they'll see that dialog until they actually activate the license, either with a manual or online serial number activation process. You can also have a button that links the user to a page where they can buy the serial number. And if you'd like, you can customize the runtime dialogues within the licensing system as well as throughout DocProtect by creating a custom text file within Quick License and referencing it from this field. Finally, if you'd like to add a splash screen to your application, go to the splash screen panel and select an image, and then you have various options of how the splash screen is presented, how long it stays up on the screen, and you can even add text across the face of that image.